Hey there, welcome to another episode of Business Breakthroughs. I'm Neal DiPentino, I'm president of Titan Media Worx, and your host for today's show, where we'll break through the BS and get real-world advice and direction from those who are and have been deep down in the trenches. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting Chris Troca. He is the owner of Focused Biz. Chris specializes in helping businesses thrive, leveraging AI, automation, technology, and marketing services. Chris brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to the discussion, and we are so happy to have him. Chris, welcome.
Neal, thanks so much for having me. Really happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, we've had a little fun offline, and that's been kind of cool. You're getting to know each other a little bit, and I think you're a heck of a guy. I don't care what anybody else says about you, but I'm like, I think you're pretty awesome. But I think our audience really wants to know a little bit about you and find out how awesome you really are.
Of course, I appreciate that. I'm a guy who used to work a lot of 9-to-5 positions in different sectors. It was retail, car sales, it was healthcare, it was billing. I did a little bit of everything, hated 9-to-5 lifestyle, wanted something more. I needed some side income. I had a mentor, a friend of mine, my boss's boss said, "Hey, you have some band equipment from the old days, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "My friends are getting married. Can you just like set up your sound and lighting equipment? We have a laptop with music. You just play DJ." I was like, "Sure, that'll be fun." So we set that up. I ended up enjoying it, doing really well at it, and realized maybe I can make some money from this. So I started a website, got like a lead generation tool. I started building a business and started to build my name out, get reviews and referrals. After about 5 years, I niched down into the wedding DJ industry. We don't mess with events anymore. And then I began to build my team of DJs as well. Once I had to learn everything about marketing and sales to even survive in business, I decided I had an opportunity to go back to school and earn my degree in marketing because I really wanted to hone my skills in that subject. After I did that, I launched my marketing agency where I started helping other business owners get set up with their initial CRM, leveraging technology and tools just to make their lives easier. So that's kind of where I am today. I've been doing that for 4 years now, and it's been an incredible journey. I'm working with business owners of all types, B2C, B2B. It's just an ever evolving, changing landscape, and I love the variety.
That's awesome. So you're in Milwaukee now. Are most of your
Mhm.
clients, are they in that area, or are you pretty much pretty much anywhere you want to go?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first starting out, it was much easier to convince local business owners that I was a solution to a lot of their problems. We do have some that are out of state and some that may be international, but we have to look into some VAT taxes. So, I don't know if you have advices on that. But yeah, our clients range from location everywhere. We can help digitally.
Well, fantastic. If I don't have I can't help you, but I'm telling you what, we do have people on this show that can. So
Perfect.
definitely, some of our listeners will be reaching out to you at some point in time just to maybe see if we can maybe throw some information your way. But hey, listen, let's talk a little bit about your business, Focus Biz. Talk about what your role is there as a marketer, and tell us about the business and what you do.
Absolutely. So I think for most businesses and business owners, I start out as a solopreneur. We are in the trenches wearing every hat that an entrepreneur has to wear. So a lot of that, focused on the consulting and coaching side, but really the done for you marketing. It's kind of funny because I always promoted myself as a done for you marketer, but most of the business owners that I worked with tended to need some sort of guidance. They needed clarity. They needed some cheerleading within their business. So that was kind of a smaller piece of the marketing side that I was kind of bringing to the table.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. So I always love talking to people and kind of try to find out where they came from and what they're doing now, and what really kind of what was the reason that you decided that you wanted to get into business in general, and what are some of the hurdles that you had to overcome? What were your breakthroughs?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I was really just sick of the 9-to-5 lifestyle, working 40 hours plus for someone else, barely making peanuts. After an entire year working at a pretty credible organization, I only had $600 left to my name, and I said, "Wow, something has to change here." So that was kind of the start of the DJ business, and I always kind of doubted myself. Anxiety. What if is this going to be successful? Is the time I'm putting in, the effort I'm putting in, going to be worth it in the end? And thankfully, it was. You just have to stick with it as long as you make sure you kind of keep an eye on, is this a worthwhile investment? Are you really committed to your end goal? So it was through that I realized anything that I put my mind to, anything I want to learn, I can accomplish. Not that I'm going to be good at it the first time, and not that it's going to be amazing or I'm going to get great results, but it's a teaching moment. Throughout business entrepreneurship obstacles, I mean, they come through all the time. A few of them have been scaling issues where we have a team working with us, and suddenly the team either starts to fall apart or you have a few who back out. And some of those can be critical to the success of your business. So losing that a key employee can be pretty heartbreaking for a business owner. So it's up to us to pivot to decide, how do I overcome this challenge? Because that can throw a wrench in your day to day, everything that you're trying to accomplish. Once you lose your key team members, okay, how do we, you know, rebuild with what we have currently? How do we leverage the skills and assets that we have currently within each employee? And then from there, you just have to keep moving forward. It's a challenge. I think most business owners will, you know, on a given day. It was actually last week Tuesday. I had the best and worst day ever. Specifically, it was a Tuesday. Suddenly, it seemed like that was the day that everybody was really excited to do something new. So we had one DJ who left our team, so we had to reschedule 4 to 5 events for that DJ and find coverage with my other team of DJs.
Mm.
That same day, I learned from my other business, one of our sales managers wanted to do something different as well. He had to support his family, which I completely get. The opportunity that we offered just didn't line up, but it was the right fit at the right time. So that was literally a Tuesday, and I was like, "Wow, could this get any worse?" Thank goodness it didn't, but it did get better. We did sell, a $2,000 DJ service, so that brought a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for us. But it can seem just like this dark tunnel of anxiety when you are running into these obstacles. My advice to many entrepreneurs is just reach out to your network, have those conversations, because we don't have to do this journey alone.
Hmm.
It can be a lonely road if we kind of isolate ourselves. The more you can network with other individuals, mentors, colleagues, you're going to find enlightenment and you're going to find clarity once you have those conversations.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We have a lot of coaches on this show, and what's interesting is some of the coaches that we have, and I told you a little bit about this before we got started. Some of them have been in business for a really long time and have worked, at high level positions and big companies, and then they decided to get away from that and start coaching others and everything. But what I always found that was really interesting with almost every one of them, I mean, to a person, and we've interviewed over 300 people in the last several months. Every one of them had a coach of their own, because we can't do it on our own. It's super important that we look for those people who can give us really good advice. We're not talking about mom and dad or our best friend or our wives or spouse or whatever. We need to have those people who are going to really tell us like it is. And so I think that's really awesome. It's a very good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Our family, our close friends, our partners can be great, great for conversation, but they just don't understand the lingo or the same struggles we're going through. And as much as they want to understand, it's just a different playing field. But when you can connect with other business owners, they know exactly what you've been through. They've probably been through it 20 times before, and they're like, "Oh, what are you worrying about? Oh, that's just another Tuesday for me." So they'll give you tips and tricks and advice. And again, the coaching can bring clarity for you.
So you work with obviously a lot of different kind of clients and everything, and so you just mentioned one problem that you had on for yourself, and something you had to deal with and everything. But you're dealing with people who have pain points, problems that need to be solved, and that's kind of where you come in. So what is your approach to identifying and addressing these pain points and the challenges that other people, your clients, come across on a day to day basis?
Yeah, absolutely. So it all comes down to asking questions. It's the discovery call, asking the right questions and the follow up questions as well. You need to figure out what's going on in the business, get a status report, see what's working or isn't working, and then kind of help shift their mindset a bit. One, we have to get them excited about the future and end result that they want to achieve, but really solidify a game plan to get there. And it's only through the follow up questions do you actually realize what they're looking for. So usually when I'm working with coaches and consultants, the number one thing I hear from them, and it's probably I just happen to fall into these people, is that we need more leads. They offer a great service. They have something valuable to provide. They've had great clients in the past, but they need more leads.
Hmm.
So that's a problem that needs to get solved. So typically what I recommend, oh, go ahead.
No.
Typically for coaches and consultants who are in the B2B world, that's handled differently than you would be a B2C business. For most B2B, what I recommend is the biggest impact you're going to have is in-person networking. So make sure you go around and shake hands, find networking opportunities, trade shows where you can start connecting with people. And again, make sure you bring your A game, your great personality, and have great communication skills. Otherwise, if you're introverted, you're going to fall short. So
Hmm.
beyond that, another way to get found and get in front of the right people is going to be utilizing business to business places like LinkedIn. Sales Navigator, your first month is free. Go build out some lists of your ideal client and go ahead and start connecting with 10 connections a day. Once they connect, you want to like 3 of their posts, comment on 2 of them, and make one message out to them. But try to make it collaborative. This isn't about you. I want to pitch my service, or let me take my best, case study and let me throw it in your face. You want to make it more conversational.
Hmm.
So it can be using fun icebreakers. Because I worked in the wedding DJ realm, a lot into music, but also in AI and tech. I'm using an AI song generator to write a little catchy theme song for some of these business owners, which is a great way to break through the ice and say, I just follow up and say, hey, what were your favorite styles of music or genres? And they'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to write you a hip hop rap song based around your consultancy. And then I have AI, work their magic and send it over, and they get a really good chuckle out of it. Some of them want to actually use it, but it's a great way to just build relationships, make connections. Don't focus on the sale first. I know we're constantly trying to chase the bag. Just go
Hmm.
get the bag. Be a friend, provide value. That's a lot of about what our marketing is. It's building relationships, value driven content, and be a good person. Think about sales last. That'll come naturally.
Right, right. Relationships are so important, and I've had several people call on me, businesses trying to sell me something, and they want to jump right into a pitch before I even know their name, which is like totally ridiculous. And I've been in sales and marketing for 40 years, and when you're a young person, especially, and I'm not knocking young people, I love young people, but when you're green in the business and everything, and you're trying to prove yourself, I mean, it's real easy to forget about that relationship part of it and just jump right in and start. I've done it. Believe me, I've done it. But what was really interesting about your story there is my personal story kind of started the same way. I was in radio back in 1984 is when I started, and I did a morning show. But I also was this. I sold. I was a seller, and eventually became a sales manager. But the way I went about it was I would actually go in the production room and I would write a commercial and I would produce that commercial, put it on a. You may have heard of this thing. It's called a cassette tape. I'd put it on there
Absolutely.
and I would go and play it for the client. And my close rate was super high because I did build that relationship and they liked what I did. And they said, and we would collaborate. I don't like this, but can you do that? And next thing you know, they had no idea they were actually, ever going to do radio advertising, but they became good customers. So I love your approach to that. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you so much, and I love your approach to that as well. Here, I thought I was innovating, changing the game, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I was doing that 40 years ago," but it's just slightly different. And I used to have cassettes too. I used to record songs off the radio and had to cut them at the right point where you didn't get the commercial. hmm
Yeah.
I'm I'm right around that age.
That's funny. That's awesome. A lot of people who are listening to this show are not a cassette. I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, what I do want to get into though is AI because AI has become a huge thing. You're really big in AI, and you were talking about how you were creating the jingles and that type of thing. Tell us a little bit about where you see AI going, what how it would benefit clients, businesses out there, and how you're using it today.
Absolutely. So I know AI can kind of be this clickbaity, people think it's trendy. You sort of just mention AI and suddenly you'll get clicks and they don't provide any content or value and they actually don't know what it is. AI can, it has a subset of many different models. You have your large learning language model like ChatGPT. Then you have video creators like Sora who's coming out. Then you have music creators as well. And then you have, image creators and image editors. I'm seeing AI being implemented and integrated into literally every tool that I'm already using. So these aren't even some of them are new AI tools and some are just the original tools, but now they have a touch of AI in it. So it's pretty incredible this AI. You're basically just speaking a sentence of the thing that you want and this AI magic thing goes to work and suddenly you have your end result. One of them is going to be in Canva, the popular design creator. So you can create content and all these different templates from Canva, they now have AI built into it. One of them is, build me a real estate template for, XYZ, and AI will pull this all together and create this draft for you. But it just gives you a foundation. You want to go in and edit it, of course. Another one is you select you use a paintbrush and you just go over a little area and say, can you make this person green or change the dress to red? And AI will literally go in there, mask out the person, change it to red, and present you a final image. And this all happens in 15 to 30 seconds.
Wow.
It is absolutely incredible. And I'm seeing AI, it's going to be integrated into everything that we're doing. It already is. As I mentioned with Canva, I use Descript as well for podcast editing. That has AI power in it as well. You can go in there and say, can you remove the uhs or the ums from it? And it goes through and finds 132 instances of uhs and cuts them out and blends the audio together. It is just crazy to see what AI is doing. And I think it's this advancement and evolution. I think it's just going to be helping businesses produce more and scale much more efficiently. I think when we're our own bottleneck in business, or we don't know how to use tools or leverage them well, it's always the tools that help me level up my business. It was as soon
Mhm.
as I got into a CRM, as soon as I got a design tool, that's when I looked like a real professional brand in a business. And now AI is making that even easier. So it'll be incredible to see what the future is going to hold for these AI tools. Are you using any currently?
I am. I should be using Descript, but if I use that and they took all the uhs and the ahs out of my podcast, it'd only be like 2 seconds long. So I don't know if I could use that one or not. But I do. It's interesting. You mentioned Canva. I use Canva a lot to help design some stuff for clients in my marketing business. 'Cause I have another business besides this, and I've been using it the same way forever. I really didn't know it had an AI function, and that's cool. I'll be looking at that. That's way cool.
Absolutely.
But I use AI and I use chat a lot. And for me personally, when I'm preparing for an interview, like if I go onto a LinkedIn page, there's always a lot of, fluff. People, it's like, everybody wants to put their best foot forward. And I understand that that's important. But trying to drill, kind of dig through all that information to get to the meat of what this person or these people may be doing is sometimes difficult and time consuming. So I just plug it into chat GPT and say, hey, I need to take the fluff out of this. I want to know exactly what this person does in as few words as possible, little words, because I'm not that smart. And it does it all for me. So it's cut my preparation time down like tremendously. So I love it.
Absolutely. And it's funny how you mentioned taking a long post and try to summarize this for me. People are doing that back and forth. There's actually a joke going around where you're trying to write an email and you keep it short, but you're like, can you make this sound more professional and fancy? They make it longer. The person who receives the email, they get that long email. They ask ChatGPT, hey, can you condense this down? So it's just going to be this battle of going back and forth. Make it longer, make it shorter.
Yeah, I love arguing with ChatGPT too. We've had some really good kind of drag outs, but that's kind of fun. It's a different story for
Is
another
it
time.
gaslighting you at all? Is it like, Neil, that's literally not a thing in reality.
It
Does it
you know
gaslight you?
It did, and I proved it wrong, and at the end of it, I won. I did. I was so happy. I actually showed it to my partner. He thinks I'm out of my mind and nuts, but I was like, I was not going to lose this argument. But
Neil 1, Robot 0.
that's right. That's right. We're keeping track of all that stuff too. But here's the thing: you're talking about the AI robot, whatever. A lot of people look at this thing as being the big bad wolf, and really, I like what you're saying because really, you still have control. It's your
Mhm.
thoughts, your ideas. It's just that AI kind of helps to simplify the process, speed up the process, and make it maybe a little bit cleaner for you. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. A lot of us are concerned about, advancements in technology and what that means for the workforce. And I agree. I think it is going to be replacing jobs, but there's going to be new jobs that are created out of it, just in the same way the production line or maybe mechanical working, where it was manual hand turned tools as opposed to impact wrenches that are now, gas powered or air powered that are just doing the heavy lifting for you. It's
Right.
going to create new jobs. We're going to lose a few, but I think just, as we evolve and grow as a society, we need to leverage the tools that we have available to us to do more. Something new that's coming down the line is the conversational AI, where ChatGPT can remember references that you made already and build a relationship, a conversation based around that. So now, chatbots are not only a knowledge based customer service, but now they're booking appointments for you. They're pre qualifying your appointments, and they're taking payments as well. So it's all about how we utilize the tool and what the capabilities of the tools are, and then it's up to us, instead of replacing our employees, assign them to higher value tasks. There is still
Yeah.
going to be an area for that they're going to serve your business and do it very well. But even with marketing and automation, there's always human touch points. We
Hmm.
really can't replicate the personalization behind it. It's getting better, especially with AI, but I don't think it'll ever go away. We always need some sort of human touch point.
I totally agree. And, people are in general afraid of new things. I mean, and it's not something new. It's something that's been going on since the beginning of time. And there's a bazillion different stories that you can listen to where some new invention came out, and there were people that were against it because it was going to ruin the world and it was going to put people out of jobs, or it was going to, like, I don't know. There's just a bazillion different things that I won't get into. But hey, look, we're getting close to the end of our time together, and I would be uh, remiss if I didn't talk to you a little bit about your podcast, because you have a
Of
podcast,
course.
which is very exciting. You've been doing this for a few years. Tell us a little bit about what you've got going on there.
Absolutely. So we started a podcast called Brain Work Framework where we get inside the minds of other entrepreneurs. It's been a great lead gen tool for us to open up the conversation with other B2B or B2C business owners. And for us, we're either learning a bunch from our guests or we're able to share knowledge and tips and tricks with them. So it's
Hmm.
just a great resource for all of us to work together. And that, again, allows me to create content. So I'm showcasing some of my video editing or my graphic creation skills. Or
Hmm.
when you see your video getting a lot, higher views, we can thank some SEO magic and other marketing tips and tricks. But again, it's about the community and people that we're working with. Something we just started is a best AI podcast. If you're okay with me sharing,
Yeah.
that happens every Sunday. We go live and then launch a post recording. But each week we cover like a new AI tool. We cover the news on what's happening in AI. And I think it's not so much to say, oh yeah, we're absolute industry experts in this, but we're all kind of learning as we go. This is a new frontier for
Sure.
everybody here. So
Yeah.
come join and learn with us as we kind of delve into AI.
Fantastic. That sounds awesome. Hey, look, again, we're very close to the end of our time together. Any final thoughts you'd like to leave our audience with?
Of course, anyone out there who's struggling, just take action. For those who are kind of like stuck in your own head, take action. For those who are taking too much action but aren't, kind of planning ahead, just take some time and plan a little bit. You know, I would rather see imperfect action. I just want to, see you get results. So go out there. Don't be afraid. You don't know until you actually take care of it.
That's very good advice. Very good advice. You just look young. You've got a lot of wisdom. You've got the wisdom of a 90-year-old, and I love that about you, man. You're awesome. Thanks so much
Hey,
for
I
being on the
appreciate it.
show, Chris. Man, you were awesome, pal.
Hey, thank you, Dale. Pleasure being here. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, that's our show for today. So thrilled that you could be with us. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Business Breakthroughs is sponsored by Titan Media Worx, providing podcast production and guest booking services for those who want to be in the podcasting space. Check us out at titanmediaworks.com. It's work spelled WORX. And also check out all the other great hosts on the Small Business Delivered Network at smallbusinessdelivered.com. Hey, be sure to stay tuned for more business breakthroughs. Until next time, stay positive and keep breaking through. Hey, have a great day. We look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.